All right, here we are again, you guys. So every month I do this. I read from my lyrics here that are all these different characters. Um, I also show what's going on in Bandcamp, and I show what's going on YouTube and stuff like that. And I like to chop these up, into the yap attacks for later. So Um, thanks to anyone who pops in and says hi. This is just a labor of love. I like having fun here on the YouTubes, and I just want to wish you all a happy New Year. You know, I needed that break. It was good. It was good to take a couple of weeks off, but I'm definitely coming back. I'm definitely back now. So let me see here. So what I want to do is we'll go. I'm going to present something, right? So I go to share screen. And why don't we start with a Substack here? So for my characters, what I like to do is I like to have my friends sketch the characters, and I want them to be featured on this Substack. Substack is a place where creators can go and they write. And geez, I already got 17 subscribers. I just started this not too long ago. But right here is shout out to my friend Higgy Pop. He actually sketched out a Psychotronic Squirt Gun like superhero, which I really appreciate. And so what we're going to talk about is Daisy Ashcroft, you know. And so please check out my Substack. And what I'll do, I'll just drop this in the comments here, in case anyone's ever interested. But yeah, so this is more of I expound even more upon the characters. All songs are linked up into one big narrative, and in this the characters get even more fleshed out on the Substack. So we're on Daisy Ashcroft currently, right? And so what we're gonna do next is, and I didn't really sleep last night, but I decided to do this anyway. We're gonna go to my Bandcamp here, and this is where you could support me. I'll be doing this forever, it's just something I create, and I'm just going to keep creating. But these are all the albums. The songs are not linearly laid out in these albums. Here's the first EP, and here is here's something that I've been working on. I just finished this one with I remixed it, re-recorded, and I pay someone to master these songs as well. So we started off with Sifu Ashcroft here. This is Daisy Ashcroft, and meet Daisy Ashcroft. Daisy Ashcroft. She's a self-made martial arts badass with her own dojo. She's guarded emotionally, yet has a sense of humor. And I'll be reading from the notebooks shortly, but for now we're going to go through the Bandcamp here. So so the lyrics pretty much just describe the story and introduce the characters, right? So this one says, finishing up her teaching session, Sifu Ashcroft ponders the camaraderie of her class. There's an air of goodwill, always it seems, especially towards newer students. Even the wise guy Henry knows when to reel it back. So she has her own dojo here, and she teaches. She knows this reflects well on her own abilities to teach. She smiles to herself knowingly. Yet despite this, and despite her ability to crack a joke, she feels a little disconnected from others. And she understands why this is repeated over and over. Others around her let her down in her past, so she escaped into pictures, providing an archetype to shape herself and rise above it all. So I already showed these songs. These songs are also on the YouTube here, which I'm going to bring up next, I think. Whoa, we got some peeps here. Hey, what's up? What up? Kenneth Bird is just on. He's been around for a while, but now he's starting to upload. If you're on the vertical, this is Kenneth Bird. If you're on the horizontal, this is Kenneth Bird right here. What up, Kenneth? Hey, a big 1778. Thanks for saying hi. Really appreciate it. Appreciate the YouTube algorithm pushing this out to peeps, you know. Can you grate me? You can't. Wang Doug. Pretty cool. What up, Daniel? Thanks for being here, my man. Yeah, so I'm just going to go over Daisy Ashcroft. Appreciate people swinging and saying hi, and hope you like it. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to stop this screen, and we're going to go into my YouTube screen. Share screen. Psychotronic Squirt Gun. We're going to share this. Now this started off as a comic book channel, hence the 454 subscribers. But now it's not that. So anyone that's not interested in this, you could totally unsubscribe from me. But here are the playlists, and here is Daisy Ashcroft. I've got all kinds of videos on her, and these are 3 other characters I've done in the past. Dr. Clarissa Cates, Eddie Clive, the songwriting quantum theorist, and Chase Dagwood, who gets abducted by aliens. This is happening tomorrow, Self-Styled Sanctuary, and I'll be reading from the notebook later on Self-Styled Sanctuary. This is Daisy's 3rd song, and you see these yap attacks. This is what I do. Once a month I go live and I chop them up into yap attacks. So, but here's some popular videos, whatever. But yeah, we're on Daisy Ashcroft right now, and I can go into the finishing up your teaching session. I don't know if you can hear this. Sifu Ashcroft honors the camaraderie of her class. There's an air of goodwill always, it seems, especially towards newer students. Even the wise guy Henry knows when to reel it back. So hopefully you guys will check out these videos. I put a lot of time into it. I create the videos. No one else does. And so we're going to X out of this. And we're going to also go into, we're going to go back into Psychotronic Squirt Gun, the Bandcamp. All right, so this is the song right here. But each one of these songs, like this is off this album, I click on here and it goes to the next song, the number 2 song, and it's called "She Protects Herself." And here's a description of the second. It's like the second chapter, you know. And Daisy muses over why she is the way she is, basically reflecting upon her past. But we got to ask, is this such a good idea? Here we learn more about her and why she's so driven to do good, you know? And it's great. These things always loop back. So it says Daisy Ashcroft was introduced in Sifu Ashcroft, the first song, which was right here, right? And then, but we're on She Protects Herself. And I'll just read these really quick. So this describes the second chapter of Daisy Ashcroft. She protects herself. And she endures existentialism, allows it to wash over her. She never has pity for herself. That's a lesson she learned long ago. And loneliness sometimes felt, however. No matter how kind they seem to her at times, she protects herself, right? So this one's going more into, what comprises, what drives her to be who she is. So perhaps it's due to her childhood and the level of adversity she endured. She managed to lift herself out of some really tight spots due to her tenacity and a lot of good luck. Daisy remembers how most people around her were unreliable and susceptible to unsavory, corrupt activities. Even her own mother, God rest her soul, lived out of a bottle, but at least her mother treated her good enough. Thank God for books. They were too poor for little else, like cable and video games. And that's the story of Daisy's life, overcoming her past, right? So that describes her, and I'll do a little bit of the sound.
She endures existentialism, allows it to wash over her. She never has pity for herself. That's a lesson she learned long ago. Loneliness sometimes felt, however. No matter how kind they seem to her at times, she protects herself.
Good, right? Well, I don't know. The sound gets washed out a lot when I'm streaming, but she protects herself. I really like this song. It ended up being a better song once I redid it. Sometimes I redo songs. I'm not so sure I should have done it. But now we're going to go to Daisy's third song, right? And this is going to be released tomorrow. And this is the backside of the EP of The Best Part Yet. This is the EP we're on now. This is like the third EP or something. And so Self-Styled Sanctuary right here. This is the backside of it. And I'm going to read the story so far, right? So, we found out that Daisy Ashcroft has her own dojo and is considered a sifu. And on this particular day, she leaves her dojo early. She feels the need to meditate on why she's feeling a little more gloomy than normal. But what happens here next is most dreadful. It's called the psychic attack, people. So she's a warrior of the mind, right? Not just physical. And she goes to her place, to what people term as to meditate, right? Go to meditate. Hey, man, thanks, dude. Appreciate that. Appreciate you sticking around. I know people are busy, but it's awesome when friends do that. So I'm gonna read. Actually, I'm gonna read from the notebook now. And I got to use these glasses now. These are relatively new to me, these glasses, but I bought it. I like them so much. I'm wearing them all the time, and I got a spare. I ordered a spare too. So this is about Daisy Ashcroft and her third song, Self-Styled Sanctuary. Okay. She decides to let her higher-ups in her dojo, they're called higher-ups, teach this day. She says farewell, and off she goes. Should she make a surprise appearance at her soup kitchen? Because Daisy, a long time ago, won the lotto and she invested back into her neighborhood, and she actually set up a soup kitchen. So she owns her own soup kitchen. So should she make a surprise appearance at her soup kitchen? Not this day. She's been a little edgy as of late and can use a session of meditation, so she goes home instead. Okay? So later in her sacred space, she lifts her hands while sitting in a lotus position. It moves them across her head. Moves them across the temples of her head. There's a peaceful place that awaits her after she's done cocooning herself in white light. So there's this yoga technique of meditation in which people cocoon themselves in white light, and that's what she's doing right now. So she begins to approach her self-styled sanctuary when suddenly she's interrupted by shadow beings. They dart across her mind's field. They begin to swirl, rotating faster and faster. Then in the next moment, her thoughts begin firing rapidly with dread. So she gets psychically attacked, So we're going to listen to a little bit of this.
She decides to let her higher-ups teach this day. She says farewell, and off she goes. Should she make a surprise appearance at her soup kitchen? This day, she's been a little edgy as of late, and could use a session of meditation. So she goes home instead. Later in her sacred space, she lifts her hands while sitting in her lotus position.
So this one's like a creepy, mellow tune, But yeah, now we're going to go to the next song, right? So that was the third chapter. And what I try to have my friends sketch, of course I lost where I was at, or I X'd out of my, what did I do here? My Substack right here. I want my friends to sketch characters whenever they feel like it, and they'll end up on my Substack or in future videos with effects and stuff like that in the videos and stuff. So, but yeah, so we're going to go to the next chapter, which is the fourth chapter, and it's called The Dirty Vibrations. And this is off the Perhaps Prudence is Best album here. And The Dirty Vibrations is the backside. We got another backside here with all these different songs, right? And I also I like to let people know about Brian Funk and his Able Packs and when I use them. So this was pretty cool. If you guys are interested in that, click that link. But here's the story so far, right? Daisy Ashcroft slips into her meditation technique that she learned from her former Sifu. Sifu is aka badass martial artist, right? Teacher who should never be messed with. This was her own personal safe space of mental tranquility. But unfortunately, for her, she was somehow psychically violated there. WTF, dude. That never happens, right? So this is her safe space, and she got attacked. Seemingly attacked, and she knew it wasn't from her subconscious mind. It was an outside invasion somehow. So once again, Daisy Ashcroft was introduced in Sifu Ashcroft, which, you know, I could click through and it'll loop back through, but we're not going to do that. And we're going to listen to, no, we're not going to listen to this yet. We're going to remove this. And we're going to go over here. No, we're going to actually read the Dirty Vibrations, right? So this is a labor of love, people, you know. I've been working on this for freaking years. And now I gotta find it. Let's see here. Yeah, here it is. Okay. She is fine. She knows herself. That's Daisy. This is the fourth chapter called The Dirty Vibrations. She is fine. She knows herself. But what the heck was that about? Again, she's assaulted by red shadows. So she's still in her white cocoon, right? Mental white cocoon. She stands her ground and clears her mind, so to speak. She, stands her ground. Suddenly she sees a flash of blue and is momentarily relieved. And she's clear once again. But as quickly as that light left, so did the comfort. And the terrible feelings returned, feelings of disgust. And that she is the source of it. Like she's the source of all this terrible, gross, disgusting feelings, like, you know. In the next moment she panics. There's thoughts of harm. Defiling the natural world and hurting innocence. She knows this is not her. She fights back. The dirty vibrations persist as if it will subsume her, as if these things will subsume her. Another flash of blue, and she relaxes again. Then it occurs to her to focus on this blue herself. And she is fine. You know, she's fine after the blue, after she focuses on blue for some reason. And she is fine until she remembers what just happened only a few moments ago, so it returned. It's like her own memory of what just happened opens the door for it to happen again. So she remains in blue without that association. Okay, so that's the fourth chapter of The Dirty Vibrations, and we're going to go back to this. And we're going to take a listen, just a little bit.
She is fine, she knows herself. But what the heck was that about? Again, she's assaulted by red shadows. She stands her ground and clears her mind. Suddenly she sees a flash of blue and is momentarily relieved. Clear once again. But as quickly as that light left, so did the comfort, and the terrible feelings returned, feelings of disgust, and that she is the source of it.
So another mellow tune, but yeah, I hope you like that. And So now that was the fourth one. That was the fourth chapter. And now we're going on to the fifth chapter. So like I said, once again, this could loop. You could start from the beginning here. Then it goes to the second one, which is on the same EP. We went to the third one, Self-Styled Sanctuary, which is right here. We just did Dirty Vibrations. And now we're going to do So They Can Help Themselves. So this is going to be more mellow stuff here. Sometimes it works out that way. It's not really something I contrive. I'm gonna have a fast song here, and then there's gonna be a mellow song there. It's just however this stuff comes out, you know. Okay, but here's So They Can Help Themselves, and we're gonna read here the story so far, right? So yeah, not only was she a badass, Daisy, and took whatever this mysterious adversary dished out to her mentally, she acknowledges that some other mysterious force helped her as well. She really appreciated the help. You know, life is a mystery to be certain. However, this will not stand in her mind. She's not going to let this go. She's got to figure out what happened to her. You know, when she was minding her own business in meditation, something attacked her. So look out, because here comes Daisy, right? So, you know, I just try to keep things light, I guess. But so I guess we'll play a little bit of it, and then I'll just read from it first. So let me go here. And then we'll remove this. And then we'll read from my notebook, right? Okay, so here we go. This is the fifth chapter of Daisy, and it's titled So They Can Help Themselves, right? She decides to remain in ultraviolet light. She contemplates what happened to her and arrives at the conclusion that influence on her needs to be explored. The brain must be a transceiver, because when she was in the state of meditation, she knows herself and she knows her deeper self as well. And she knew that the terrible, wicked stuff that she was feeling did not come from her own subconscious or whatever. So she thinks to herself, these images in shadowy red and the dread were not from her, but transmitted at her, directed at her somehow. But how and why? And by whom? She knows herself. She knows her intent. She knows her intent for good and to help others, you know. She was once in need and therefore understands people she is helping. And she knows about the need and the assist, you know, that people need help. You know, but she knows to assist them with applicable knowledge so that they can help themselves. And she knows this. She knows that the best way you lift people up is to be an example, but to give them knowledge that they can lift themselves up somehow. You know, with knowledge, you can free yourself within of all the turmoil and the trouble that you think is coming from the outer world. It's not. It's actually within. And there must be a force. There must be a force, though, because of the psychic attack. There must be a force directly opposed to this. There's no explanation for what she just went through. She knows she is not that horrible. And the good news is she receives help from blue, from this mysterious blue realm. So we can go back over here, add this back to stage, and I'll play another one, but this is just another mellow tune. Some people like the mellow songs.
She decides to remain in ultraviolet light. She contemplates what happened to her and arrives at the conclusion that influence on her needs to be explored. The brain must be a transceiver. She pays to herself these images and shadowy. Dread and the dread were not from her, but transmitted at her. Directed at her somehow, but how and why? And by whom she knows herself, knows her intent for good, and to help others.
Cool, right? So I write all the music really long. That's so they can help themselves. And so that's the fifth chapter. The fifth chapter. And we go on to the sixth chapter. Which is But Not Always. This one's a little more rocking. And we'll read the story so far from the sixth chapter. The story so far. Suffice to say, Daisy is absolutely blown away by those dirty vibrations she experienced. She considers all that weird dread and red shadows and fear. And it's really hard to describe, but that she was a part of it, like she was a part of this evil. She knew it wasn't her. She starts understanding something really deep during this song. Something about this world she lives in and why it seems so backwards. Okay. So we're gonna back out of here. We're gonna remove this, and we're gonna read the next. Hey, what up, Jeff? Thanks for swinging by and saying hi. Package in the mail, dude. But I appreciate you saying hi to me, man. As I do this long and winding road, the long and winding road, right? It's a lone journey. All right, so this is the sixth chapter. It's called But Not Always. And Daisy loves her research. She can dive in real deep. She also knows restraint. Occam's razor. She knows that the simplest answers are mostly the correct ones. But not always. Sometimes one must question the source of the answers. In the case of what happened to her during all that weird psychic attack that happened to her while she was meditating, in the case of what happened to her, which she takes very personally, she knows that something was trying to prevent her from helping her community. That's what she contemplated, that there's no the only reason why something would attack her is because she's actually making a difference in her community. She has a soup kitchen. She has a dojo. She helps people with knowledge, and she listens to them as a friend. But she also has distance, But she cares, and she's making a difference in her. And she grew up in the ghetto. So when she went to meditation, she started contemplating that must be the reason why she was psychically attacked. And that the attack could be described as psychic, right? Like I just said. Although she would rather dispense with a superstitious term, there must be someone or a group responsible for the attack. She will find out who did this. I mean, she's Sifu Ashcroft, after all. She's a badass. And they will be dealt with. After all, this is an existential threat, not only to her, but her loved ones and what she represents. So she focuses very long hours, relaxed, focusing on the answer, right? So we're going to go right into this now, people. And it's called But Not Always.
Daisy loves her research. She can dive in real deep. She also knows restraint. Occam's razor.
Yeah.
Knows that the simplest answers are mostly the correct ones. But not always. Sometimes one must question the source of the answers. In the case of what happened to her, which she takes very personally, she knows that something was trying to prevent her from helping her community.
So that's that. That's the 6th chapter, but not always. And what we're going to do is we're going to remove this. And we're going to read the 7th chapter. Actually, we're going to add that back. And we're going to point out here, I'm going to point out here that the 7th chapter of Daisy Ashcroft is useful against that taint. So as you know, I could loop. This is the 1st chapter. Come on, loop. Here's the 2nd one. Here's the 3rd one. We just started with the 3rd one today. Here's the 4th one. Here's the 5th one, so they could help themselves. And we just did Not Always, which is the 6th one. We're going to do one more chapter / song with Daisy. And it's going to be called Useful Against That Taint. Okay? And then we're going to introduce, I say we, but it's me. I'm going to introduce a new character after we're done with Daisy Ashcroft here. So, Useful Against That Taint. The story so far. After some hard work, Daisy begins to make some progress in her effort to understand what happened to her. Although she unexpectedly contacts some form of intelligence during a deep meditative state, and it seems to want to help her somehow. So, in other words, she was attacked, but there was also another force that was telling her to focus on blue, ultraviolet blue, right? So we're going to do this. We're going to remove that. And I'm going to look for her next song, which is no, I have their names on this side here. So yeah, useful against that taint. Yeah. Okay, so this is the 7th chapter, and Daisy clears her mind, brings up the distinct shade of blue that helped her before. She relaxes, time passes, and she has techniques to calm her mind further. So she has, she's a disciplinary of the mind, right? Not just some martial arts BA, right? She directs her hands past her temples, and the quiet comes again. Then she gets excited, and the excitement interrupts her calm because she's making connections, that I just described earlier. When she contemplates like this, she knows she is not present. But still, what a remarkable experience she went through. How beautiful, yet terrible, what the experience implied. And how could she be useful against this taint? So in other words, it's pretty exciting that she actually had a direct psychic experience. It was her first one, really. I mean, she has impressions. She's super intuitive. She can sometimes read people. She has lucid dreams and things like that. But this was like a direct connection. She was both attacked and helped by seemingly great forces that are greater than her. So she's really excited about this, and she's trying to figure out why it happens. So she's in a meditative state doing this. Then suddenly a tiny point of light appears and expands, then reduces back down. She knows to calm herself again, and there in front of her mind is a blue flame. It startles her. Suddenly, she's the one meditating. She's the one visualizing. But without her input, a blue flame appeared in front of her. It startled her. Her calm is broken. Wow, that was interesting. She smiles to herself. She closes her eyes and once more sees nothing. So she knows that something is helping her. So she begins visualizing the blue flame on her own. Okay? So she decides to do that. And we're going to go to the song Useful Against That Taint, which is lo-fi indie music. Not for everybody, but a lot of people like it. So let's do it.
She clears her mind, brings up the distinct shades of blue that helped her before. She relaxes, time passes. She has techniques to calm her mind further. She directs her hands past her temple, the quiet comes again. Then she gets excited, and the excitement interrupts her calm. When she contemplates like this, she knows she is not present. But still, what a remarkable experience she went through.
Yeah.
How beautiful yet terrible what the experience implied. How can she be useful against that taint?
Yeah. So I tend to linger on these songs when I like them more. So now we're done with Daisy Ashcroft, you guys. But to sum it up, I'm going to remove this right here, right? And we're going to go and we're going to exit out. We're going to stop that screen. Stop it. Then we're going to go share screen again. And we're going to go back to the YouTube page here. So right now I'm live. Isn't this great? And this introduces the channel. So if you guys ever want to just watch a little short, this is like a half a minute, maybe less than that. But here's Daisy Ashcroft's playlist so far. Self-Styled Sanctuary is coming up tomorrow. Yeah, I'm just going to keep freaking doing these, man. She's, you know, she's a BA, dude. She's Sifu Ashcroft, you know what I'm saying? And she got attacked, and she wants to know what the freak happened. And she's not going to let it go. She's not going to freaking let it go. So tomorrow at 3 p.m., please join me for a short video. These are like 3 minutes or something, you know? But yeah. Here's the playlist. Okay. And so in here, I'm yapping about the first song, second. I'm going all the way through it, you guys. I'm doing this. So now we're going to leave Daisy Ashcroft. But before we do that, I want to bring up one more thing here. I want to stop that screen. I think I'm starting to get better at this. I want to shout out to my artist friends right here. This is Higgy Pop, who actually sketched Daisy Ashcroft, right? Here's Daisy. I'm introducing Daisy here. If you ever want to sketch for me, and then I give you more information about Daisy on the Substack. I don't need to read all that. So that introduces her. This is She Protects Herself. And then next week, I'll have another one for Self-Styled Sanctuary. But any of my artist friends, please feel free to sketch. They'll end up in the videos I make and the Substack that I input into. So Substack is good for any writers, you guys. So we're going to X out of that. Hey, my sister's here, Melanie. Hi, Melanie. How's it going? So I just did Daisy Ashcroft. And we're going to talk about a brand new character who's an aspiring actress. She's a teenager, and she still lives at home. And her name's Callie Harper. She has a best friend, Polly Mathers, and we're going to talk about them a little bit. So all these, what I'm doing now, you're going to see in the future, you know? So I'm going to go over here now, friends. Hey, what up? What up, Jim? Can't wait to read your stuff, dude. I'm just going over, I just finished Daisy Ashcroft and went over 7 chapters of her. And now I'm going into a new character called Callie Harper. Callie Harper and her best friend, Polly Mathers, right? So we're going to share a screen once again, folks. And we're going to go to here. Okay, so Useful Against That Taint was a nice indie little, you know, boogie, I guess. So we're going to go back to Psychotronic Squirt Gun. Here's all the different albums. And we're going to go to Callie Harper. Now, Jim, I'm going to make either a cassette, a CD, or an album someday. This EP has been finished. The guy who masters my music has finished this one. So now we're going to go to In Crowds of Extras, right? And let me say hi to anyone. Awesome. Thanks, Jim, dude. Really appreciate you, my man. Appreciate you swinging by saying hi, dude. It's very helpful to me, man. Okay, so Callie and Polly's story begins right here. Meet Callie Harper, an aspiring young actress who couldn't pursue her acting career due to her mother's illness, right? So her mother got sick. She still stays home. She's a teenager, late teenager, going into 20s, right? And her mother came down with some cancer. Not really cool, man. You know how terrible that is, friends. So her best friend, Polly Mathers, with similar dreams, similar, acting dreams. They both want to be actresses in Hollywood, right? Well, Polly flew out to L.A. to make it happen. And Callie is so proud of Polly, right? So, this is the next song here. So we're going to introduce Callie Harper's first song here, In Crowds of Extras, right? Here we go.
Callie worries about her mother, even though her condition is improving. She never regrets the day she made this choice. She barely hesitated. Her mother means the world to her, and she's putting her dreams on hold until she's all right. Leaving her bedroom, she decides to take a walk. She really hasn't heard from Polly in a while. Even her profile isn't as active as it once was.
Yeah.
She decides to give her a ring. Picks up the line.
There's that.
Her voice seems tired, but cheerful.
So that's going to be hitting us in YouTube and Rumble and Facebook and IG in about over a month. This song's coming. And it's Callie Harper, people. You know? Yo, what up, Matthew, dude? Okay, man. Yeah, no worries, my man. Thank you so much. Love Jim, dude. Jim's another creator. What up, Matthew? Or if you're doing the narrow, Matthew. YouTube has 2 different screens now. Dude, don't ever apologize for being late, dude. I just did this without telling my friends really until the last minute. You know, it's all good. Dude, you're still here. I'm glad you see, a lot of my friends understand what I'm doing. Not everyone will. But Jim, he kind of understands the genre of music, you know? So now we're going to read In Crowds of Extras, right? So this is the very first Polly Mathers. No, it's Polly Mathers. I think of them together. Okay? They're 2 girls who are naive. One is a little rougher than the other. And you'll find out who that is. So the first chapter, In Crowds of Extras. Callie worries about her mother, even though her condition is improving. Her mother's condition. She's terminally ill. You know? She never regrets the day she made this choice. She barely hesitated. to help her mom, right? Her mother means the world to her, and she's putting her dreams on hold until she's all right. Leaving her bedroom, all right? Callie's leaving her bedroom. She decides to take a walk. She really hasn't heard from Polly in a while. Even her profile, even Polly's profile, her social media profile, isn't as active as it once was. So she decides to give her a ring. That's what, a ring, that's what us Generation X people say to call it. Polly picks up the line. Her voice seems tired but cheerful enough. Not much to report, apparently, other than meeting new friends, right? So she's out there in Hollywood doing it, mixing it up, working it, trying to get some roles, anything. She's got a waitressing job, the whole typical thing, that you visualize when you think of these things. So, Polly's out there doing it. Not much to report, apparently, other than meeting new friends. Every week, the auditions, the casting couch, hanging out for days in crowds of extras. So she's making it onto the sets, and there's extras on movie sets, right? And she's has made it onto that. And so every week there's auditions, and she even made it to the casting couch. And she's doing it. So she gets off the phone with her. Callie gets off the phone with Polly, and Callie heads back home. Her mother will most likely be asleep. So maybe she'll be able to hit up her local theater tonight, right? So you guys are saying hi to each other. Appreciate that. So, Callie hasn't gone to Hollywood yet. She wants to. She really wants to. Hanging on the telephone. I love Blondie. Blondie freaking rules. Okay, so we're going to go back here. And, whoops. In crowds of extras. So Callie's story continues in complete remission. This will be the last one I do. I did about 7 songs today. I only wanted to be on here for about an hour, and I'm approaching the hour mark. And I want to thank my friends for checking this out. So now we're moving on to the Cloud Pusher EP. Ooh. Here's Cloud Pusher. And these have all these songs here. And someday we're going to find out who the Cloud Pusher is, right? In crowds of extras, and complete remission was the next one. So I'm going to read this. The story so far. Callie Harper decides to go out last night. Since she was feeling a little maudlin, not that I use that word a lot, maudlin, I'm trying to be a writer here. Day after day, she imagines she's in rehearsal in some big Hollywood set somewhere, having scored a major lead in a big-time movie, right? But alas, she's still stuck home taking care of her mom. However, once she gets home, she receives the greatest news ever, people. And I'm not going to read from here. I'm going to play a little bit of Complete Remission, the second chapter of Callie Harper and Polly Mathers. So here we go.
Well, the theater show last night wasn't very exciting. She wishes she can leave this town she's stuck in. She very much likes the people who live here. She feels like she is ready to experience more. Then the phone rings, it's her mother's physician. The lab work results are finished, and her mother's in complete remission. Miss Harper lets out a long sigh. Tears stream from her eyes. Her mother is going.
Yeah.
To be okay, she opens her email. Printed out the report to show her mother. Her mother, to her surprise, was already outside in the spring air planting flowers. The birds seem especially melodious that day.
Yeah.
The sound of a plane overhead. Her mother will be okay.
Yeah. So that's complete remission. And now I'm going to read from this. Go here, remove, back here, boom. Let's say hi to the chat. There are worse casting couches in San Fernando Valley. Agreed, Matt. Oh, we got Leah. What's up, Leah? Leah, I should have started this now at 2. I think I did that last month. I just wanted to get this out of the way, though. But Jim had a question about how do you get to the regular YouTube screen. Just go to my YouTube account, and then you'll see that there's 2 different ones. There's the wide and the vertical. But Leah, thanks for swinging by, saying hi. I'm wrapping this up. Awesome, dude. Matt, thank you so much, dude. You know, I'm doing this slow and steady, man. Just taking my time, man. I'm doing this forever. So look out. All right, so I did the first chapter here in crowds of extras. Now I'm going to read Complete Remission. Chapter 2. Here we go. Callie Harper, Complete Remission. Well, the theater show last night wasn't very exciting. She wishes she can leave this town she's stuck in. She wants to go to Hollywood, people. She very much likes the people who live here. She feels like she's ready to experience more. But then the phone rings. It's her mother's physician. The lab work results are finished, and her mother's in complete remission. Isn't that awesome? So she doesn't have to worry about her mom anymore. Miss Harper, a.k.a. Callie, right? Miss Harper lets out a long sigh. Tears stream from her eyes. Her mother is going to be okay. She opens her email and prints out the medical report to show her mother, right? So she's stoked. Her mother, to her surprise, was already outside. She's normally bedridden, you know? In the spring air, planting flowers. The birds seem especially, I did melodious. I don't even know if a melodious is a word or not, but they're filled with melody, right? The birds seem especially melodious that day. The sound of a plane overhead. Her mother will be okay. Then it struck her, she can actually leave this old town soon, this old neighborhood that she respects and loves, but she will be able to leave it now. She went to her mother, helped her in the garden. Thank God her work has finished. You know, thank God Callie's work has finished. So now she can go to Hollywood. And her mother is in complete remission, right? So that's it, you guys. Melodious. Not melodious, melodious. I'm so glad that I have friends who understand the genre of music that I'm doing. Tomorrow, I'm gonna show you guys. We're gonna get out of this. Stop screen. Stop screen. Stop. We're gonna share this, baby. Okay, so we're still doing Daisy Ashcroft, and I've only done 2 songs. She Protects Herself didn't really get a lot of plays, but that's okay. I also show these on Facebook and Rumble and IG, so it's not all about YouTube, man. You know what I mean? But yeah, you guys. So definitely check out Welcome to Psychotronic Squirt Gun. It's only a half-minute long. In fact, let's do this.
The thing she did on the casting couch was nothing compared to what she did in the ritual.
Yeah. All right. This is PSG. There's music. There's story. There's mystery. But seriously, it's Psychotronic Squirt Gun. Welcome to my world. I'll be doing this for years, creating characters, creating my own world. This is science fiction world. Welcome to it. Yeah, the music videos are abstract, and the yap attacks are not. So hope you stick around. See you for years and years and years.
The thing she did on the casting couch was nothing.
Right? You know who that's going to be about. Right? A little preview. But tomorrow, please join me at 3, where Self-Styled Sanctuary debuts here. All right? We're still on Daisy Ashcroft. Now, please check out my YouTube stuff, friends. I'm doing this forever to the rest of my life. I'm just going to keep doing this. But I can use my friends' help. And I already did Dr. Clarissa Cates, Eddie Clive, Chase Dagwood. For people who like to sketch, my friends, please send me your sketches. This got 7 views, but like I said, who cares, right? Who really cares? Because I'm showing these on more platforms than just YouTube. I'm just trying to get the word out about what I'm doing. And that's it. That's it. You guys, you know, really appreciate you swinging by. I should start this at 2. I started at 1 for some reason, but I think 2 is a better time. So once a month, maybe once every month and a half, I'm going to do this. 2 p.m. from now on Sunday, not 1 Pacific. I think it's better that way, you know. Thank you, Craftwork, Dream Academy, Laurie Anderson. Yeah. And if you're on the vertical, he's saying it up there. What up, dude? And this guy is my friend, man. We're going to be streaming together tomorrow, Dan, okay? Dan knows what I'm talking about, too, because he actually had a label at one time, and he loves his underground punk. But he's taking a break from it. He's just doing the comic book thing. I respect that, dude. I do have songs that are all just synth, dude. So, okay. Can't wait. Thank you so much, Jim, for being here. Yeah, so that's what I normally have my claim show on 3:15. Tomorrow, Pacific, 3:15, we're doing a claim show, comic book claim show, and it's fun. But that's on my PSG Comics site. But at 3 p.m., I always debut a new song. Dan the man. All right, you guys. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Shout out to Rumble. We're streaming to Rumble now too. Whenever it doesn't glitch, I'll see you in about a month and a half on this side. And please check out my music and my stories in my Substack. I have a link tree. Please check out my link tree. It's in the description below. Peace, friends. Thanks for helping me out. Thank you. I appreciate all you guys helping me out. Later.